Welcome back to the Mo It Wells Show. I am your host, Alex Wells, aka Mo It Wells, aka Big Mo, aka Mo Lons, Mo Money. Man, I hope you guys are doing great today. Just wanted to hop on here, do a very quick, sweet, short and sweet episode, and talk about this drought that a lot of you guys have been facing. I know here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, since like June, it's been nothing but just dry. We've had like one or two really decent rain showers, but literally from probably mid July to now, we've had nothing. So that brings up today's topic. However, I should have said that. But how are you still able to make money when the grass isn't growing? And there's a couple of answers to that question. So we have been basically not mowing consistently since the middle to end of July. So about a month, almost about a month and a half now, probably. And we even had a drought in June where we went a couple of weeks without mowing all our properties. And by not mowing, I mean there might have been spots on the grass that we could have just topped with like a weed eater, but we're not actually mowing the grass because it's not growing. And for a lot of you guys, how your business is structured is you get paid per cut. So what happens on years like this where you're missing out on, potentially 7 to 10 cuts? That's a lot of revenue if that goes across the board for all your customers, obviously for the non-irrigated lawns and stuff like that. So how do you maintain that revenue while you're not actually mowing the grass? And the simplest answer for that is contracts. And you guys know I've been preaching contracts. And here's a perfect prime example of why you should not offer per cut pricing. All right. So let's say you go to AT&T to sign up for a phone plan, right? You see where I'm going with this, hopefully already. All right. You go sign up for a phone plan. You tell them, I want obviously unlimited text, unlimited phone. I don't even think they offer like the minute plans anymore. Anyway, so you tell them you want a phone. So they're not going to say, well, they're gonna tell you, all right, it's gonna be $60 per month, and you're like, okay, cool. Boom, you pay them the 60. So what if you don't use your phone as much one month, and then the next month you use it more, and the next month you use it even more? Does the price change? No, the price stays the same. You're paying your phone bill $60 a month in January all the way through December. You're paying the same amount. So why in lawn care are we doing price per cuts or per cut pricing? Why don't we just factor that into their contract? Why are we not offering contracts? Because we're lawn care guys. We're a lawn care business. Anywhere else you go, it's contracts. Your internet contract, your YouTube TV, so a subscription. We have to start looking at our business as like a real business where people are going to pay the same amount per month for the whole year. Now, if they want some additional services that aren't written in that contract, cool. Then they can do one-off projects, landscaping projects. It could be anything, irrigation repairs, stuff like that. But why are we not, as a whole, in the lawn care community, making these people sign contracts? Because all that's going to do is elevate the pricing. If everybody starts doing it, that means we can all charge more instead of charging just $60 to mow the grass, and then when we trim your shrubs, we're charging you 100. Then when we blow your leaves, we're charging you 100 one time, but 75 another time, then 85 another time. Like, bro, just figure out all the services, figure out everything you're gonna do. All right. So, for example, I'm gonna give you guys an example for a contract, right? For a full contract that we offer right now to our clients. And your contracts can vary by services that they need. Not everybody's going to have irrigation. Not everybody's going to want aeration and overseeding. So you got to kind of have different ones that you can offer them, but they all sign a 12-month contract. That way, when droughts like this happen, it doesn't hurt your pockets. You're not losing any revenue. You're technically going to be making more money because your guys are not going to be out there as long. So your man hours go down while your revenue stays the same. So your profit margins are bigger. You're actually making more money because your guys are working less. or you can even double up and make more money because you can get other projects done that you might not have been able to take had you been busy. But anyway, let's get back to this. So here's a perfect example for a contract. All right, here, Chattanooga, Tennessee, we have a mix of Bermuda and fescue lawns. For our Bermuda lawns, we say we're going to cut those on average 28 times in a season. So about April through October, there's going to be about 28 cuts. For fescue, we do 32 if they're irrigated. Well, 34 if they're irrigated, and 30 to 32 if they're not. It just kind of depends on the lawn. You go out there and look at it. If it's weedy, treated, you can kind of tell. But anyway, so let's do a fescue lawn. We're going to say it's 30 mows from the first week of March to the last week of October. We're going to count 30 mows. Now, this is a non-irrigated lawn, right? So from March to October, they're going to get 30 mows. Say it's 1 man hour per mow. So whatever you charge for 1 man hour, you multiply that times 30. Boom, that gives you your total right there for your mowing. So you're going to trim the shrubs 3 times. It takes 2 man hours. So you factor that in. 2 times 6 man hours, you factor that in. So now you're up to X amount of man hours. Say you're going to do 8 leaf cleanups. Factor that in. Now let's say you're going to do winter visits where you're just blowing off the property. We do bi-weekly through the winter. It's about 5 visits. Boom, you factor that in. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take all those man hours, you're going to multiply it by your man hour rate, whatever that is, 60, 65, 70, 75. Add that all up and divide it by 12. There's your lawn care contract for your basic services, your mowing, your leaf removal, your shrub trimming, and your winter visits. The point of the winter visits is so you're still visiting that property every other week so your guys or you can stay busy and still collect a check throughout the whole winter, throughout the whole season. They're paying the same amount for 12 months. You can even add in irrigation services, aeration, overseeding. There's tons of different things you can add in there, but that is the basics, man. Guys, save yourself a headache. Start doing it now, early on in your business, because as you grow, you're going to have to get into the contracts eventually. Treat every residential client like a commercial client. I promise you, you will thank me later. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Mow It Well Show on Instagram or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to help anybody out with getting a contract put together. All right, you guys have a great one. And remember, mow lawns, mow money.